Yogi Stitches said you're coming to you back, or not back, but actually, yeah, it would be back with Lifted Dreams. Now, a while back, I did episode 1 of this, but if you go back and look now, I actually deleted the video very recently due to, not having, upload a video in, like, a year or something. Yeah, about a year. Oh, was it about a year now? Oh, it was over a year. It was actually almost 2 years ago. Yeah. Over almost 2 years ago. No, yeah. Almost 2 years ago. Okay, was it 2 years ago? I don't actually remember now. Anyways, enough about that. So I decided to go back to this, and I decided to restart. I know the first episode was only like 20 minutes, but I'm gonna do a bit longer videos for this because it's a visual novel. But this one's not very long, so I figured, might as well do this one. I know some of you that keep up with my channel and probably notice what I've been uploading recently is, Devin, where's Pokemon Silver? Where's your Pokemon Random Silver playthrough, episode 4? Well, to answer that question, I haven't done it yet. Yeah, I explained this when I was doing, when I did my episode 2 for Pokemon Academy Life. I wasn't really feeling good at the time, so I had no motivation to record. But lately I've been in a really good mood, so that's why I've been pumping out videos every few days. It's not really a big deal. And now we're coming back to Lifted Dreams. It's going to be a short series, but that's fine. After this, I'm not going to guarantee we're going to go back to Pokemon Silver, but there's a high chance we'll go to Pokemon Silver. High chance. Oh, you guys could even see it. High chance, like above my head, like high chance. Just, yeah. So anyways, we're going to get started. She was an angel. I remember the beginning of this still, or at least some of it. I had to turn on the music as well, because, I'm not sure how loud the music is. I muttered to myself while going through the motions of sharpening my favorite pencil. I'm about to go through my daily ritual. I'm inside my room, staring at a blank sketch pad. Using a blue, outworn, bare print pencil that I've had for 2 years or so, I began to sketch a girl's eyes. Man, seriously, keeping a pencil for that long. They're like black holes in the sky, sucking in every ounce of color and feeling I try to pour into them. I stop. I stare into the void, and soon the two holes become one. It begins to suck my focus inward as if trying to snap me out of my very essence. It feels like my heart is being stretched by some unseen force, drawing me closer into the vacuum. On instinct, my right hand moves, snapping me from my previous trance. I think I'm going through this faster. It sketches a liquid. This liquid begins in the girl's eyes, then ebbs down like a monochrome waterfall. I want to wipe it away, but in my mind's eye, I know I can't reach her. Erasing it would do nothing. She's too distant. Even on paper, she lives in another dimension. As if possessed, my hand proceeds to draw the rest of her face. Her expression is almost like a straight line, composed in an eerie and unnaturally serene sort of way. It almost appears as if she has been left tranquilized by the cruelty of fate. Again, I stop and stare. This was a bad idea. I think to myself, the longer I look at this drawing, the less sane I feel. How could anyone bask in this innocent girl's misery? I think by now, in the previous episode that I did, I was already like 10 minutes into the video, and I'm not even 5 in this one. At last, I bring myself to sketch her silken hair. It flows gently like sweet whispers on a peppermint wind. It's the only thing I've drawn today that calms my senses. It reminds me of her fragrant aroma, and as I inhale, and soon I want nothing more than to breathe the rest of her in as well. That sounds weird. This hair of hers, it doesn't exhibit the loathsome ferocity and despair the rest of her face does. The finished portrait of the desolate girl awakens every one of my senses, breaking me from its hypnotic power. My hand and heart begin to weigh heavily upon me, and soon it becomes clear why I've even drawn this picture. Because this girl's cute as hell. It resembles Faye, my neighbor since childhood, whom I once had a crush on. We played with one another from the time when we were 3 years old. Now that we're 16, we've grown distant, but I still can't help but see her from time to time. After all, she hasn't moved, so she's still around the neighborhood. She's every guy's fantasy, knowing that only drives my previous despair home. My mental image is clear and crisp. Her skin is glossy and fair. She is, in a way, as delicate as glass and as gentle as a flower. Her long hair always shimmers in the sunshine, as if kissing the blue sky with its tresses. On her left side, a purple hair tie binds up a small portion of her hair. Lower than that, two identical hair ties complete her angelic appearance. When I recall memories of the times I've spent with her, I always default to seeing her in a field surrounded by sunflowers.
Jeff!
I'm gonna say it again even though I said it the last video. My name is Jeff. She calls to me, her large eyes filled with anticipation, but what for? I cannot tell. Naturally, I ask, "What is it, Faye?" Naturally, I respond with a gentle smile.
Read this. I wrote it for you.
She hands me a piece of paper with one of her many short compositions written on it in her neat, uniform handwriting. She had written a short story about a poor homeless kitten. Cutting straight to the chase, she tells me the story concludes with a happy ending. How nice of her. Undeniably, it's a predictable story, but her detailed description of the kitten's life makes it worthwhile anyway. The story introduced itself with the kitten's birth in a garbage dump just inside of some backwater city. The ensuing labor scene ends up so gruesomely detailed, children will never be able to read it. I knew for sure that Faye included that scene, not because she felt like it, but because she felt it was significant to the story. After the mother devours our protagonist, the youngest of the litter, a large chunk of metal falls from somewhere on the garbage pile and pins her left paw. Okay. There were a lot of tragic, detailed scenes like this, which only made me even more impatient to get to the story's heartwarming conclusion. But before that, I find myself so dumbfounded by the details I can't help but to ask, Faye, how did you come up with the detailed scenes like these?
That's the first thing you ask?
Well, yeah. Shit, like if you come up with detailed scenes like that, you got a very active imagination.
Through research, of course.
Oh. Research, huh? Soka, I see. I take in what she said. Of course, it's odd anyone research that sort of thing, but then I remember. When she caught me drawing at a young age, she told me that she'd catch up to me with her writing. I must admit, she has improved a lot.
Can you draw the kitten for me?
She smiles. It's a smile that has been burned into my memory time and time again. An adorable, precious sort of smile that always managed to strike a chord in my heart. Hold on, what the fuck? Oh, there's something on my shorts. It's so precious and fleeting that it feels like it may vanish completely any second. Sure, why not? You can ask me anything, I'll draw it for you, I promise. I answer immediately, hoping that I can preserve her smile by responding quickly enough. Every single day we used to talk about things just like this. She wrote for me and I drew for her. Day in and day out, without fail. This would be our routine. It always left me in a state of, word. She was so cheerful and I enjoyed every moment that I spent with her. I'm about to get fucking roasted in comments or probably DMs by friends, you know, whatever. I want to spend my days like that forever.
Jeff, you're so kind.
I fell silent, wondering why she has suddenly said that.
You're too kind. To me.
As she utters those words, she smiles. Her eyes seem to glisten, while her cheeks grow rosy. She's blushing. I don't think I noticed that before. I didn't notice her cheeks were, like, reddening, you know, rosy, basically. Rosy cheeks, blushing, same thing. And without knowing it, I'd never get a chance to talk to her like that again. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't the last day she spoke to me, but it's the last thing that sticks out in my memory. She is no longer the angel she used to be. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I guess I should shut up and find out. I know that this is supposed to be a short visual novel, so I'm expecting maybe 3 episodes from this if I do decently long episodes. I look up from my stupor, I don't know, and find myself faced with a clock. It's already 5 p.m. 5:30 p.m. Damn. As I walk through the neighborhood, the red-tinted summer sky remains as if it doesn't want the night to take over. The neighborhood's trees gently sway to a tempo set by the evening's warm breeze. The scenery resembles a fascinating piece of artwork expressing the emotional contrast between joy and misery. It doesn't allow me to feel the busy surroundings of the city or the lazy ambience of the quiet countryside. If I had to describe it verbally, I'd say it's well balanced. It isn't too bright, nor is it too dark. The entire mood with the vicinity makes me more sentimental than I had previously been. This would be perfect. All it needs is music. Before I know it, I've already arrived at my destination, the playground. Surprisingly, I hear a girl singing a beautiful melody. Her voice is so gentle and smooth that it causes me to close my eyes. It reminds me of the days when my mother used to put me to sleep by humming sweet lullabies as I laid in bed. The girl's voice soothes my ears, but more importantly, it soothes my heart. It makes me want to snuggle tightly under a warm, fuzzy blanket, like a cat. I feel like I'm floating. Every note lifts me higher and higher, until the clouds are beneath me. The girl abruptly shouts, interrupting her song. Yet I can't really call it shouting. It's so sonorous. I probably fucked up that word. It still sounds like she's vocalizing. It's weird for me to even think it, but even that sounds beautiful. She truly is a singer. Unconsciously, I found myself already standing behind the source of earlier's beautiful melody. I worriedly laugh at myself about how careless I could be when something astonishing occurs in front of me. I fully regret interrupting her captivating tune.
Jeff.
The girl, surprised, utters my name. When I open my eyes, I see Chelsea standing in front of me in her singing posture. She faces me, her long blonde hair swaying from side to side. A significant portion of her hair is tied up, but still, she leaves some hanging freely around her back, giving her a cool, feminine look. Chelsea is another childhood friend of mine. We've known each other since her family moved into our neighborhood about 11 years ago. When Faye and I spoke to her for the first time, she insisted on singing for us. At the time, we were so impressed we couldn't help but be friends. She has always sung for everyone in the neighborhood, and the joy it brings paints a smile on everyone's faces. How sweet. For that reason, she's pretty popular. In fact, I can't help but feel lucky to be able to hang out with her. I see. You still enjoy having solo concerts out here, huh? I tease her.
Don't call it that.
It's what it is. Then what about a solo choir?
There's no such thing.
There is now, bitch. She laughs at my nonsense. What about a group solo concert? She doesn't respond to my stupid joke. I guess it was too much. Okay. I know that you just really like to sing from the bottom of your heart, right? She smiles again as if she was expecting me to say that.
Yeah. It's the same as how you love drawing.
Not gonna lie, I like that there's
Singing
voice
in front of
acting,
a lot of
but
people. Performing at a real concert. It's my biggest dream.
good. I hope that your dream comes true.
And yours.
She responds with her usual reply. We've been hanging out more and more over the past 2 years. We've become so familiar that we already know each other's speech patterns. Aside from knowing each other since childhood, we've come to understand more about ourselves and about our dreams together recently. But we aren't a couple. I do like someone, but I know that I shouldn't actually fall in love. I don't know why, but I feel like being in love will steal my dream of being an artist from me. Between constant drawings and maintaining what social life I have, I can't imagine having any time for romance until I'm renowned.
Jeff,
Chelsea says to me.
did she call you out here too?
Yeah.
Then, did you read her creepy message?
Chelsea looks confused. Without answering, I grab my phone out of my pocket and reread the message that I had received earlier today. The Paris of anguish devours my benevolence, yet your spirits seem vigorous. Enshrouding myself in a curtain that's impassable. Hey, have you heard about those people losing their dreams like it's mass hysteria? If you desire for an explanation, then let's meet at the playground before sunset. Faye. Dang, that's deep. Faye always writes weird things, but this is weirder than usual. Given her track record, it's impossible to tell what she really means until she explains it to me. But the emotion behind it is there, and I know I can't ignore it. What does she mean by losing one's dream? Is that even possible? Even trying to dissect it word by word, I can't squeeze an ounce of meaning from it. All I can tell is that Faye is at her limit. But at her limit for what? Chelsea is probably wondering the same thing.
I wonder what's on Faye's mind. She hasn't said a word to us for years. And now she has sent us this ominous message.
That's kind of weird. That's kind of... Oh, that's sketchy as hell. Because, oh, God, if someone did that to me, like, if I hadn't heard from someone in, like, say, like, 2-3 years, and they just send me so... Or even, like, 10 years or something, and they just... The first thing they send me after that long is, like, some... Like, an ominous message like that that sounds, like, super deep, but you don't really know what the meaning behind it is for that person. I would be pretty sketched out. I'd be like, I think this person might need some help. Oh, God. That's true. I'm really worried about her. I've called her several times since she sent it, but she won't pick up. I wonder what's wrong. Sorrow once again wells up inside of me. The majority of my childhood memories are occupied by Faye standing next to me, yet without saying a word, she has suddenly changed. Since then, I haven't seen her precious smile that could brighten anyone's gloomy day. I see her at school and around the neighborhood sometimes, but she seems distant, almost like a completely different person. Hey! Oh wait, that's a fake. I got baited, damn it. I miss seeing her puppy dog eyes, delicate skin. Those are puppy dog eyes? Those eyes are massive, Jesus Christ. And they're like square, they're like rectangle-like. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to roast her. I'm just saying it how it is. Delicate skin, long silky hair, and especially reading her stories. I miss everything about her. And with her comes everything that has never been in my possession. Knowing the distance between us, I can't help but feel even more saddened by whatever brought it on.
Hey.
Suddenly we hear someone. When we turn around, we find the one we've been expecting. Of course, it's Faye. Upon seeing her, a theory that has been swirling inside my mind is instantly cleared up. She really isn't the girl she used to be anymore. Her eyes seem so vacant and lifeless, even though they're focused towards us. It's like she's looking through Chelsea and I, or at the very least, she's looking at parts of us that don't exist within this dimension. Her wavelength seems to be too different from ours for us to connect. She has an ominous and antagonistic aura surrounding her. Chelsea twitches upon seeing Faye. As much as I can't believe what I feel, Chelsea can't believe what she sees, which renders her speechless.
Do you know why we have dreams?
Suddenly, Faye asks us this simple but cryptic question. I can tell from this alone that this meeting will not be a pleasant one. I can't say anything. I wonder why she's asking us that question after being silent for so long.
Dreams are nothing but an illusion.
Faye, what are you saying?
Dreams are fake.
She slightly raises her voice. I don't understand what she's trying to tell us. How could anyone understand this sudden outburst? Faye, calm down.
Dreams appear to be a paradise from the outside. But the truth is, they're as rotten as this world.
Something happened.
They make us feel like we exist and belong. They promise to give meaning to our lives.
No, they don't. What is your viewpoint on dreams? What? I don't really have a specific viewpoint. I guess I've never given it much thought. Like, I can't really relate to this because I've never given it much thought. Like, how do I look at dreams? Do I think that I don't know what I think about dreams. Personally, I don't. I don't know what I think about dreams. I mean, yeah, some are interesting, some are wild, some are nightmares, so they're kind of scary. I haven't had a nightmare, though, in so long. Like, not since I was, like, a kid, honestly. I think even as a kid, I didn't have many nightmares. I don't know, I usually just had positive dreams, or I had dreams that were, like, that would, like, predict the future. You know, maybe dreams are, like, our way of, like, going into the future. Maybe that's our way of time traveling sometimes. Or maybe that's our way of, like, going and seeing different universes and stuff, where these kind of things, certain things do exist. And where you do these certain things that you didn't do in the heat of the moment before. I mean, I could go on for a few minutes talking about dreams, but I'm gonna let this story continue.
But without realizing it, they're just naturally programmed inside of us. Our psyches. Just like our emotions. And just like our emotions, our dreams can fail us. Not all dreams will come true.
I feel like there's not enough emotion in her voice with this. She doesn't sound like, you know, that whole, like, lost your sanity kind of thing. Lost your, like, you haven't gone, like, you've lost a bit of sanity. She doesn't sound like she's lost a bit of sanity. It sounds like too calm and not, like, losing it enough. It's not snapping. I don't know. I'm kind of bad at describing it, but you get what I mean, right? She doesn't sound right.
In fact, the majority of people throw them away because they get disappointed.
Are you talking about, like, your dreams, like your real dreams, like what you dream to be, what you dream to want, what you want to be, basically?
So what's the point in chasing something that's so cruel?
I don't know what changed her. I guess we're gonna find out as the story progresses. Don't say that.
Dreams shouldn't exist if they aren't guaranteed to come true.
I mean, as depressing as it sounds, I somewhat agree with her. But there's a counter argument to that. If they're not guaranteed to come true, that's why you have to work for it. Not all dreams come for free, Faye. They really don't. Not all dreams come for free. I'm sorry to tell you this, but they don't. They just don't. Dreams don't come for free, and you have to work for them. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I've been in such a positive mood over the past couple weeks.
Dreams should just go and disappear.
Faye, that's not true. I raised my voice.
Then what is the truth? Tell me!
She's gone fucking crazy. I paused for a minute before replying. Dreams are called dreams because we should work hard to obtain them. My voice lowers. Despite knowing that what I've said is true, it's impossible to keep up with Faye. I don't know where she's coming from, and for that very reason, I can't say anything meaningful back to her.
Do you really believe that hard work will guarantee you your dreams? Jeff, this world is full of lies and uncertainty.
What changed her?
How can you so blindly believe in something that petty?
I like this. She furiously retorts and then murmurs.
Even though I'd worked so hard.
So something happened to her. That much is obvious. That's been obvious since the beginning. Something happened to her and it crushed her dream of wanting to be a, like, top-notch writer. So I guess we're gonna figure out later what that is. And that's why she's going off about, like, how dreams shouldn't exist if they're not guaranteed, and even if you work hard, you're still probably not going to get there, which is true. That's still even true for real life. No matter how hard you work, there is a chance you could fail. There's always a chance you could just fail or not get not get something, you know, not get what you want, even though you work so hard for it. There is a chance. And it's different with each thing, like, say, like, for example, gaming tournaments. You work so hard to win those, but then you don't. It's like, well, you just gotta train harder. You just gotta work hard. Or, like, if you're a professional athlete, and you're trying to go in for, like, you know, I guess, like long jumping, the Olympics and stuff like that, you know, you gotta work really hard for that. And if you don't, I get it. Also, I believe my webcam isn't covering up anything too badly, so that's good. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there, and I really shouldn't have. I'm sorry about that. I fell silent. It pains me to see her like this. It's like she's jamming a needle into my heart as slowly as she can. Suddenly, Faye turns to face Chelsea.
Chelsea, do you believe that dreams can so easily come true?
It's not easy! Chelsea jerks almost mechanically. Unable to meet Faye's instant gaze, she instead looks beyond her as she replies.
Yes, if we work hard enough towards them.
Chelsea agrees with me. Naturally, Faye is not impressed.
That's wrong! Hard work means nothing without results. No one can know the result beforehand.
Seriously, what happened to you? You got something that messed you up.
And that result would only appear if your dream has already come true. That doesn't answer my question at all.
What an interesting viewpoint.
No, it's not easy.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Especially when someone disrupts.
What? Her last sentence lights up a part of my mind, but it dims down again soon after.
Anyway.
She just leaves. Faye starts to walk away. She leaves us with a set of dark and ominous words.
You'll understand what I mean when the time comes.
After she left, Chelsea and I are silent. We can't say a word to each other. Without saying goodbye, Chelsea runs home. Though I never noticed the onset of darkness before, I can see in the suddenly present moonlight that there are tears streaming down her face. What a bitch. Not Chelsea, I meant Faye. Night has finally come. I showered hours ago and I've already eaten my supper. I lay down in my bed, but I can't seem to fall asleep. The discomfort I felt from Faye's words earlier still plagues my mind. Dreams, huh? I murmured to myself. Faye. I wonder what her dream is. Although we've always been together, she's never told me. I'd never considered asking her because there's only ever been one thing that she has been so passionate about. She wants to become an author. In fact, it's almost like she's destined to. She's always writing and has been for so many years it's doubtful anyone could doubt her ability. Has she given up on her dream? Is that the reason why she became like this? She immersed herself in writing for so many years. Could she really give it up just like that? Or maybe something happened. I really don't know what to think. I thought I understood her very well, but maybe Faye and I aren't that close after all. That thought stings my heart. That's rough. It's like it's like growing far apart with your childhood best friend. I don't know the feeling. Well, I do, because I do have friends that I could still contact and I still could talk to, and because technology is so advanced nowadays, you could just really get together with anyone. So yeah, but anyways, I close my eyes, hoping that my anxiety will fade away. I see darkness. Vast, infinite black stretching out as far as the eye can see. I feel like I'm running away from someone or something. I want to shout, but no sound comes out of my mouth. I run for a long time, but there's no finish line, no end. I feel like I'm drowning in the abyss. Darkness envelopes me as I try to struggle, but in the end, it hurts. It's suffocating. I continue pointlessly swinging my limbs around. I reach out my hand, hoping that I can grab onto something or someone. I swing it desperately, but nothing else exists in this pit. Soon it dawns on me. There's nothing to grab. Just as the thought crosses my mind, something cold, slimy, and appendage tightly wraps around my right arm. It feels so disgusting that it instantly makes me try to break free from its grip, but it's impossible. It reaches my chest and pierces through it. I'm like rubbing my chest now. Instead of feeling pain, I feel hollow. I feel as empty as a moonless night. It's as if I've cried my heart out to a breaking point. I am no longer capable of feeling anything. I succumb to the torment. In the darkness, I close my eyes. In the darkness, I close my eyes, but it never becomes darker. Ring, ring. Oh, it's daytime. The blaring sound of my cell phone going off wakes me up from my depressing nightmare. I shrug it off and feel thankful to the caller for interrupting it. Before I stand up to answer the phone, I glance at my wall clock and see that it's already past 9 a.m. I must have thought about Faye for a long time last night. I press the answer button upon seeing Chelsea's name. Before I even begin speaking, her low, sobbing voice whispers into my ear. She talks slowly but without pauses. She tells me that something has happened to her, but I'm not sure that I hear her correctly, so I hesitantly ask for clarification. What do you mean by that?
Meet me at the playground and you understand.
Chelsea answers depressingly. After putting my cell phone in my pocket and fixing myself up, I hurriedly head to the playground. As I approach my destination, I see her standing in her usual singing posture. But this time her head is hung low as if something heavy is sitting on atop of it. I approach her and she turns around as soon as she hears my footsteps. Chelsea, what happened? I worriedly ask. Instead of answering me, she slowly walks up to me and positions her sweaty face and teary eyes closer to me. and then nervously places her shaky hands near her chest. I gulp as I anticipate what she might be about to do. Slowly, as if something delicate is about to come flying from her mouth, she opens it. The result is hardly anything delicate. In place of Chelsea's heavenly singing voice is a beastly, terrifying tune that is clearly originated from her and only her. In fact, I can't even call it a tune. It's just frightening dissonance. It can't possibly be Chelsea's voice. Her voice is warm and kind, but this is eerie and awful. It sounds like her mouth is reverberating the noise of a frightening world filled with eldritch creatures that only do gruesome things. My jaw drops as I realize this is not just another nightmare. I take a step back as my body starts to shake instinctually. I can't say nor ask anything. I feel as if I'm going to be sick. Bothered by the silence, Chelsea speaks with sad, teary eyes. Though it's obvious and rather heartbreaking, it feels even more painful coming from her.
I can't sing anymore.
Realizing that I can't stay silent and timid like I was with Faye yesterday, I prepare myself to hear the case of this cause, or the cause of this strange phenomenon. What caused this?
I don't know.
Did you feel strange yesterday? What about right now?
I'm not sure, but I was really bothered by what Faye told us yesterday. But she couldn't possibly have anything to do with this, right?
Indeed, Faye made us feel troubled yesterday, but that's not enough of a reason to accuse her of anything. We're not kids anymore. We don't believe in paranormal activity. Let's not jump to conclusions. Did something happen to your throat last night? Maybe you ate something that damaged it, or you hit it against something.
No.
She slightly raises her voice. Between the two of us, she's unsurprisingly the one most bothered by the situation. Then I stutter and my fixation with logically figuring out what happened falters. Fortunately, Chelsea is suddenly compelled to walk me through her theory.
Wait. I had a dream.
Of course, a dream. My eyebrows raised at her answer.
No. It was more like a nightmare.
Her eyes become tinted red with sadness. Those look yellow as fuck. Nightmare? I break into a cold sweat as I wait for her to elaborate.
Yeah. In my nightmare, it was so painfully dark. And in that place, I couldn't shout.
My eyes widen and I can still feel the cold sweat pouring down my cheeks. Did you feel empty?
I did. Even right now.
Sad times. She responds as she stares at the ground, worried. As the sense of realization hits me, I nervously grab a pencil and a small notebook that I'd brought from home. Instead of feeling relieved about my habit of always bringing stuff to draw with, I feel fear well up inside of me. My heart throbs incessantly, reverberating in my ears. God, I swear I said that word right earlier. Part of me says not to try it because I already know what's about to happen, but instead, my curiosity prevails. As I stand, open my notebook to an empty page and start sketching. Almost immediately, a sense of dread begins to well from the pit of my stomach alongside the creative erophia. I force myself to ignore it and continue drawing. I gracefully stroke the paper in different directions with my pencil, producing scratchy sounds. I can sense Chelsea staring at the paper with her worried eyes. After I finish sketching, I awaken to my senses to take a gander at my work. As I stare at it, I can feel the unceasing cold sweat continue to trickle down past my chin, while my eyes widen, surpassing their threshold. Something sharper than a knife pierces my soul. I can't believe my eyes. My sketch looks deformed. No, it can't even be considered that much. It's not art, and it's not abstract. All I can see are soulless, erratic scrawls and scribbles. It's as if an evil soul has tried to communicate with me and dragged me down to hell. Much like my sketch of the girl yesterday, it's beginning to take a toll on my sanity. Though unlike that, which brought on despair, this is simply incomprehensible on every conceivable level. My arms become loose and I weakly drop the pencil and notebook. Now I can understand how Chelsea is feeling, but I can't do anything about it. This is helplessness. This helplessness is unfortunately natural. How could I take action if I don't know what's caused the problem? We stare towards nothing, trying to take in the pain we feel from the depressing phenomenon. Tears start to gather in my eyes. As I continue to be oblivious to my surroundings, I hear Chelsea scream. Even her scream sounds horrible. So everything that could in any way be related to singing is affected, which means it should be the same for me. I snap out of it and try to figure out the reason that Chelsea screamed. I don't know when she got here, but Faye is already standing in front of us, wearing an eerie smile as if she's telling us that she has successfully accomplished something sinister. Chelsea covers her mouth with her shaking hands.
Did you lose something?
Faye asks. She is playfully serene. It only brings back the hollow feeling from my nightmare. I have a shocking epiphany and wonder how she knows that.
How pitiful. How can you two achieve your dreams like this?
Faye asks mockingly. In that moment, she makes herself clear. This is definitely Faye's fault. I don't know how it's possible, but I know that I'm not being unreasonable in my assumption. If it's Faye, she can do it. She has always been knowledgeable about crazy stuff. I've read stories written by her that are far beyond my comprehension. She's written psychological and occult-related stuff that required thorough research and devotion. Why did you do this?
Why, you say?
Knowing that she won't give us an explanation, I change it to a yes or no question. Have you also lost something? She twitches and falls silent, almost as if she's hiding something. Then she continues.
Let's see where your blind dreams will take you now. Though, I can easily imagine you two chasing something that won't come true.
She smirks again and starts to walk away from us, clearly avoiding my question. We watch her back as she disappears out of our view. As we fall silent, our hearts clearly grow heavy with sadness. Chelsea starts to break down. She covers her face with the palms of her hands and cries. I feel the urge to break down with her, but I realize that being consumed by this excruciating pain will spell the end for us. So a feeling of sympathy bubbles up within me. I raise my arms towards Chelsea and tightly hug her. Don't worry, we'll get them back. As I hold her shoulders and look at her face, she fixates her tear-filled eyes, filled with shock and something else I can't quite explain on mine. I promise. I declare it even though I'm filled with uncertainty. Oh, hey. Oh. Is that the main character? I assume it is. Okay. Well. Alright. Alright, so that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm really enjoying the story so far, at least the idea of the story, which is like dreams and such. I'm very curious what happened to Faye in the time that she and the main character last hung out versus now when she's like corrupted, I guess you could say. She's fucked in the head because something happened in her life. She lost something. Maybe she had a nightmare and her dream was lost or something. Like maybe she can't write anymore. Maybe, I don't know. It's just, all I can do is guess at this point. So, in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit that like button as hard as you can. And if you want to help my channel grow, you can hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to be notified when I upload videos such as this one, you can hit the beautiful bell icon down below while you're hitting that subscribe button. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.